Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well amid this coronavirus lockdown and that you are finding positive ways to stay productive, especially with acts like reading. The previous bonus episode season consisted of 11 by 11 stories that I read aloud, and I hope you enjoyed it. This season consists of folklore and fables from various regions. Each episode will be themed by a region and will consist of an enriching cultural experience for all. The region being covered in today's episode is the subcontinent of India. India has such a rich culture, with hundreds of different types of food and languages within the country itself. Ancient India consisted of kings and ministers, and India at this time was a very rich and majestic country. As we are all well aware of, folk tales are stories that are passed down over generations. Some may be published, but others may simply pass down through households. My own mother has had many folk tales told to her by her father, and one of them she published her own version of into a book called Never Lie Ever. Please find the link to this incredible book in the notes section. I'm guessing that based on the name of the book, you can guess what the moral of the story is. Now please enjoy this classic folk tale, which I doubt that you have ever heard before. Never Lie Ever by Ritu Goyal. Never Lie Ever. Adapted from an Indian folktale. On one fine, warm, sunny day, Chiriya and Chiranta set out for some food and hay. They wished for something sweet and nice. Chiranta got some milk, and Chiriya came back with some rice. Thrilled, they both cried, "This is no kidding! I don't believe this! We are all set for our rice pudding." "I am so excited," said Chiranta. "I just cannot wait. I think I'll eat the whole plate." "Patience, my dear. It'll be ready in a while," said Chiriya. "Till then, can you please make the bed and clean that pile?" Chiriya called out, "Honey, the pudding is all done, but eating it hot is sure no fun." And so, as agreed, they both went to sleep, but the yummy smell made Chiranta weep. He wanted to have it, and have it now. The question he kept on pondering was, how? Chiranta thought, "Now I can wait no more. I will only have a spoonful, I'm sure." And so he ate to his heart's content, only he didn't know he'd have to repent. Chiriya woke up all excited to share the treat with her husband, but she couldn't believe what she saw. An empty pot, nothing to eat. She was sure of the one who could do this, so she called Chiranta without a moment's miss. "Did you eat the pudding while I was sleeping?" "No," said Chiranta. "I did not. I'm not the one who was cheating." She was hungry. She was angry. But calm and quiet, she passed the night. The next morning, Chiriya said, "I cannot let this go. I need to sort it out. You are lying, I have no doubt." Pretending to be honest, Chiranta said, "I am ready to take any test. I am not scared. I know I'm not lying. Tell me the test that nobody has dared." So both went to the judging well. A big leap on the swing could tell. The liar will slip and sink, but the honest will reach across in a wink. Sure of her truth, Chiriya was first in the row. Whoosh! And across she went in one go. Trembling, Chiranta was on the swing, saying, "Oh no, oh no!" Thump! He fell in the well, deep below. Chiria started to sob and sigh. Seeing Chiria cry, Aunt Billy stopped by. "Don't you cry, my dear," said Aunt Billy. "I can help whatever the need be. My Chironta is in the well. Can you take him out for me?" "Sure," said Aunt Billy. "But in return, what is it that you will give me, my dear?" Sad and helpless, Chiria said, "Whatever you ask for, that I can bear." "Oh, sure, I ask for nothing much. Just the Chironta for lunch." Hearing this, Chiria felt a big punch, but calm as she could be, she agreed. And so Aunt Billy jumped in the well with her greed. Out she came with Chironta in her teeth, and she asked Chiria if now she could eat. Polite as she could be, Chiria said, "Let him dry a little, he's all wet." After a while, Aunt Billy said, "I'm eager for my feast." "Oh," said Chiria, "let him flutter his feathers at least." Unable to control her hunger, Aunt Billy said, "I can no longer wait or stop. Oh, kind as you have been, please let him jump. Let him hop." Getting impatient, Aunt Billy said, "I am not supposed to wait till night." "Oh, sure," said Chiria. "First let him have a little flight." Not wanting to listen to a thing, Aunt Billy made a big leap. "Oh no, hold on," cried Chiria. "Kind as you have been, let him make his last big sweep." Saying this, Chiria gave a sign to Chironta by a wink, and they both were soon flying high in a blink. Chironta was sorry for all the trouble and pain. He learned his lesson well, never to lie again. Dear reader, you may have come across a few words that are new to you. Chiria means female bird in Hindi, Chironta means male bird in Hindi, and Billy means cat in Hindi. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this folktale. Next is a collection of fables called the Panchtantra. This involves animals and contains lots of morals. Now please enjoy these stories from the Panchtantra. This is actually one of the oldest compilations of fables in the world. The Tactful Fox. Once there lived an elephant in a thick forest. He was very old and weak. One night, he breathed his last. Next morning, a wise fox happened to pass that way. He saw the dead elephant and felt very pleased. He was sure that he would enjoy the elephant's flesh for a number of days. But when he tried to eat it, he could not. The thick skin of the elephant was too hard for the fox to bite, so he felt very helpless. Very clever an animal as the fox is, he didn't feel disappointed. He began to think hard as to what to do. But just then a lion happened to come there. So the fox thought of sending the king of the forest away, but in the most polite manner. The fox said to the lion, "Your Majesty, here is a dead elephant. I am looking after it for your honor. Kindly eat it so that I may feed on your leftover food." The lion at once said, "Shut up, you rascal! Don't you know that lions eat their own prey?" "Pardon me, sir. I'm a humble servant of yours, and it's my duty to make an offer to my master," said the fox. The lion was very pleased to hear the flattering words of the fox, and went away smiling from there. Thus the tactful fox saved his food from the lion. After some time, a tiger happened to come there. The fox said to himself, "I must send him away, through a trick." At once, he hit upon a plan and acted upon it. Saluting the tiger, the fox said, "Sir, I can't dare say, but your life is in danger here, so I shall request you to go away as soon as possible." "What danger?" asked the tiger angrily. "The lion has killed this elephant. Ordering me to stand guard here, he has gone for a bath in the river. So I have made this request to you," replied the fox. Hearing the words of the fox, the tiger was frightened. He asked the fox not to tell the lion about his visit, and left the place to save his life. Hardly had the tiger left the place when a leopard appeared on the scene. Seeing his sharp teeth, the fox made up his mind to seek help from him without letting him eat anything. So the fox said to the leopard, "Hello, sir. Where have you been all these days? I am seeing you after a good many days. If I am not wrong, you seem to be very hungry." "Yes, you are right, Mr. Fox. I am very hungry indeed. I have not been able to kill any prey for 2 days." "Who killed this elephant, by the way?" asked the leopard. "The lion killed it, and he has gone for a bath in the river, ordering me to stand guard. Even then, I don't mind if you eat some of its flesh to appease your hunger. Come on, enjoy it, and be off before the lion comes," said the fox. Hungry as the leopard was, he began to bite the very hard skin of the elephant. The fox was looking at him very carefully. As soon as the leopard made a hole in the elephant's skin, the fox shouted, "Run away, sir, the lion has come." Hearing this, the leopard took to his heels without even looking back, and the fox felt very happy to be successful in his plan. Now, the clever fox started eating the flesh of the dead elephant without any worry. But just then, another fox happened to come there. Seeing the other fox, the first fox felt worried. He thought for a while, and decided to fight the newcomer, so that he could enjoy the elephant's entire flesh for himself. So as the second fox advanced towards the elephant, the first one fell upon him. A fierce scuffle took place between the two, and the first fox killed the second one. The tactful fox kept enjoying the flesh of the dead elephant for a number of days all by himself. How happy he was to have tricked all the fierce animals one by one, and to have done away with the last opponent, who was of his own kind. The wise fox put the lion off through his humble ways and scared the tiger through a trick. As for the leopard, he befooled him through bait, while the fox was killed by him. This story shows one more universal fact, that two of a stock seldom agree. They are jealous of each other, so they oppose each other. Thus, killing of the second fox by the first one was justified by all means. Next is the loyal mongoose. Once there lived a Brahmin in a town. Just after a year of his marriage, his wife gave birth to a lovely son. The couple had a pet, a she mongoose. Just the same day, the mother mongoose also bore a baby. But unluckily, she died only a few days later. So the Brahmin's wife decided to bring up the baby mongoose as a pet. She brought up the tiny creature with great care and love. In due course, the mongoose grew up and spent his time frisking about the house. The baby of the Brahmin couple felt very happy to see the mongoose frisking about near his cradle. But the Brahmin's wife had an unfound and ever-present fear that the mongoose might harm their son come some day. So she was very careful and never left their son alone in the company of the mongoose. One day, the Brahmin's wife got ready to go to the village well to bring a pitcher of water. Her husband was at home at that time. Their son was lying fast asleep in the cradle. While leaving the house, the Brahmin's wife said to him, "Darling, I am going to bring water from the village well. Keep an eye on the mongoose, lest it should harm our son." The Brahmin said, "Darling, The mongoose is our faithful pet. You have got a baseless fear and doubt in your mind about the tiny creature. He can never harm our son. Rather, he would do his best to protect him from any sort of harm if ever need arises. Go without any worry in your mind. I am very much here." Now as soon as the Brahmin's wife left the house, a person came there and said to the Brahmin, "Sir, the head of the village has sent for you in connection with an important matter. He has asked me to take you along, as the matter is much too urgent." The Brahmin told him, "My wife is away for some time. I will reach there after a short time." But the messenger insisted on taking him along, so the Brahmin accompanied him, leaving the house guarded by the mongoose. He was sure that the faithful mongoose will take proper care of the house as well as their son. Now it just so happened that a black cobra crept in the house when the Brahmin had left. The reptile crawled slowly towards the cradle, but the alert mongoose was there to stop him. He came face to face with the cobra, and a fierce fight followed. It lasted quite a while, but at last the cruel cobra was killed. After some time, the Brahmin's wife came back with the pitcher of water. Hearing the sound of her footsteps, the faithful mongoose ran to the main door to receive her and show her its victory over the cruel cobra. But the Brahmin's wife could not see through reality. Always doubtful as she had been, she thought just otherwise. Seeing the mouth and the paws of the mongoose covered with blood, she thought that the cruel mongoose had killed their son. Without thinking anything, she flew into a violent rage and flung her pitcher on the poor mongoose, who died on the spot. But when she got inside, she saw her son sleeping soundly in the cradle. Seeing a black cobra lying dead near the cradle on the floor, stained with drops of blood, she at once realized the reality. So she began to cry aloud, in utter grief. Just then, the Brahmin turned up too. His wife was too sad to speak anything, but at last she told her husband the entire story. She wept tears of remorse over what she had done. The Brahmin was no less aggrieved either. His voice got choked, and he said to his wife, "You foolish lady, I always told you not to have any doubts about our faithful pet, but you never heeded my words. You killed the tiny creature because of your doubts. Had you got inside the house to see the reality before doing this sin, the tiny pet would have been saved. Remember, God will punish you severely for this." I hope you liked those Panchtantra stories. Now, next we are going to follow the tales of a wise man who solves others' problems in ancient India at the time of kings. Please enjoy these tales of Mullah Nasruddin, who was actually a real person. He was a Sufi philosopher who lived around the 13th century. Mullah Nasruddin. Listen and grow rich. One day, Mullah Nasruddin was wandering around the city riding his donkey. It was a hot afternoon, and the sun made him sweat a lot. He was just about to take a few sips of water from his flask when he heard someone shouting nearby. Turning around, he saw that a sweet shop owner was shouting at an innocent-looking traveler. The noise grew louder and louder. Mullah could not resist. He went to them and asked what the matter was. The shopkeeper said, "This man has been standing in the shade of my shop, getting a whiff of all the delicacies being prepared here. But when I asked him to pay, he refused." The traveler said, "The sun was making me dizzy, and I was about to faint. That's when I hurried to this place and stood for a while until I felt better. And now, the shopkeeper doesn't want me to leave without paying him." Twirling his mustache, Mullah looked at the traveler and ordered, "Hand me your purse." The traveler looked at him in disbelief before reluctantly handing over his purse to Mullah. "Ah," said Mullah, and holding the purse near the shopkeeper's ear, gave it a good shake. "Do you hear the rupees jingling?" he asked.